Hey y'all, it's Melissa from The Little For The Kid. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. I'm a homeschooling mom to 3 kiddos, and most of what you find on my channel is homeschool content, although occasionally I'll throw some other things in there like allergy life content or other mom life type stuff. So if you're interested in that, hit that red subscribe button and stick around. Today I am going to be doing an end of school year recap. So if you're interested in hearing a recap of how our first year as homeschoolers went, stick around. Okay, so if you don't know our story, we have just finished our first year of homeschooling. I actually have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in education, and I taught in traditional school setting, both public and private, for 17 years before we started homeschooling this year. I have 3 kids. My oldest 2 went to traditional school from the very beginning all the way through 6th grade was their last year at their traditional private school where they attended and I taught. And then my youngest son, Ford, stayed with my mom for the first few years of his life, and then he did go to a K-3 program, not at the school where I teach, but at a different school. And he went there for 2 years before we pulled out and decided to homeschool. Now, I will say it was a difficult decision from the aspect of me leaving my job because I loved my job. It was a dream job. In my 17 years of teaching, I did a little bit of everything. I taught in the general classroom for a number of years. I taught 2nd grade and I taught 4th grade. Then I was a library media specialist for K through 12. So I taught literally every single grade. And then for the last, 8 years of my career, I taught 3rd through 8th grade music and theater, which is my heart. It's my favorite. And so at the time that we made the decision to pull our children out of school and homeschool them, that's where I was. I had just finished my 6th year at a private school, which we loved for a lot of reasons. I loved my students. I loved my job. I directed 2 musicals a year, plus Christmas concerts and other things. And then I had middle school theater, middle school shows to put on. And it was just my dream job. I loved it. So it was very difficult for me to leave that. I still miss it very, very much. However, now that we've gotten through the whole year of homeschooling, I am absolutely positive that despite the fact that I miss my job tremendously, that we absolutely made the right decision. We love, 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 love homeschooling. Now, that is not to say we have not had difficult moments or days even, because we have, but that's life no matter where you're going to school, right? Even when your kids are in traditional school, you have bad days, bad weeks even. So, the bad days, the hard stuff has not deterred us. We are still fully on board with homeschooling. We are all excited. The kids love it. I love it. My husband, although he is not directly involved with homeschooling because he's obviously at work all day, but I think he appreciates the changes, positive changes that it's brought to our family as well. And every now and again he does go on a field trip with us or something like that. So he is a part of it in a sense, even though he's gone to work during the day most days. But I cannot say enough good about the changes that it has brought our family. And so we're excited to start our 2nd year of homeschooling. So we will have a 1st grader and 2 8th graders coming up this year. So in the beginning, if you're considering doing the same thing, especially with all the changes that have happened in the world since March, and there are still so many unknowns about what traditional school will even look like this coming school year. And I know I've read and I've heard from personal friends that a lot of people are considering um, homeschooling next year just because there's so much uncertainty still. I know that, around here we have, I don't know, I want to say it's like maybe 7 weeks until traditional schools around here are supposed to start, and they still haven't really said when they are or if they are or what it's going to look like or whatever. The Our state education department is supposed to be having a press conference at the end of this week to share some of that, and I think at that point local school systems and local private schools will start to roll out their plans too. So hopefully that will happen soon to help parents make a more informed decision about what they want to do with their kids. But I would encourage you, if you're thinking about homeschooling, don't be scared of it. You can't screw your kids up. Like, I've had several of my friends call me and be like, I really think that would be good, but I'm just afraid I'm going to screw my kids up, like screw their whole lives up because I'm not going to, teach them what they need to know or whatever. And it's it's not scary. It's not scary, especially if you have little ones. It's even less scary because you have time to figure it out. At the beginning of our school year, I had done all this research, especially as an educator. I had done all this research on all the curriculums, and I was totally overwhelmed because there's like 5 million different choices. And I can remember one night I just cried to my husband. I just, like, literally tears, which I'm not even a crier, but I was so overwhelmed. I was like, how do you ever choose what to do and which one to pick and what to include and what not to include? And so it can be very overwhelming, but don't be overwhelmed because it doesn't have to be. It's not as hard as you think. And give yourself grace and understand that you can quit something if it's not working. So I will be honest with you, my big kids, my big two that were in 7th grade this year, we used 3 different language arts curriculums before the year was over. We started with one, it didn't work for us. We moved to another, it didn't work for us. We moved to another. And actually we're switching again for 8th grade. So, if you are new to it, or even if you're not new to it, sometimes things just change and you have to just switch gears, and it's okay, and you're not going to mess your kid up. So I had a lot of doubts about that in the beginning, especially when I realized that first curriculum. I was like, this isn't working, but what do I do? I spent this money on this, and then my oldest son, he switched math curriculums 3 times too. And so things like that happen, and it's okay. Another thing that happened for us was, in the beginning, I did not want to join a co-op or anything because I just felt like we had big enough changes as it was with just switching to homeschooling, and I felt like making a commitment to be somewhere every week was just too much for us. I wanted to kind of figure out what homeschooling was going to look like for us, what we were going to do at home, how we were going to do it, how long it would take us. I mean, there are so many unknowns when you first start, and I just didn't feel like that was going to be the right decision for us. But by about November, December, it became clear that my big kids especially were really missing the social aspect of traditional school that they were used to. And so I started searching for a co-op. Not all of them accept new families in the middle of the school year. Some of them do and some of them don't. But I was able to find a co-op, and we just fit right in, and we loved it. The kids love it. I love it. It enabled them to meet some new friends. It enabled me to make some new friends. And it gave all of us the social aspects that we had been missing, I think. Now, that is not to say the only way to socialize as a homeschooler is the co-op. Obviously, there are a million other things you can do. We're also a part of an adventure group, which we started at the very beginning of our homeschool journey. And so we were seeing people there, and at those different meetings, and then we were involved in a group that has different events and social get-togethers and things like that. And obviously there's church, and there's t-ball, and music lessons and other extracurricular things. So it's not like we were just sitting at home. Sorry, I don't know what his God saws you. It wasn't like we were just sitting at home and never going anywhere or seeing other people besides each other. That's not what I mean at all. And like I said, for some people, they may have other ways that they want to get the socialization in. But for us, co-op was definitely a good way to do that. And also, it's a good way for my older kids especially to take some classes and learn from a teacher other than me, which I think is a good thing. And just to have an authority other than me in their life is also a good thing. So anyway, so we did join co-op in January, and unfortunately in March, as you all know, because it happened all over the world, I think, definitely all over the country, things started shutting down, and so co-op had to be canceled. And so that was a bummer, because we had only gone a few weeks by that point. So we did get to know some people, and we've had a few of those people over and stuff. So I'm so sorry. I don't know why he's so loud right now. He's been perfectly quiet this whole time. Anyway, so co-op is not starting back till September, I think, but my kids are really looking forward to getting back, and I am really looking forward to getting back, because I'm going to be teaching a middle school and a high school musical theater class at our co-op this fall. So I'm super excited about that. It's not exactly what I was doing at my previous career, my previous job, but I'm super thrilled. I'm really excited about it. So it will give me a little avenue to do what I love, even if not at a full-time capacity like before, but it will still give me an opportunity to do that. So I'm super excited about that. Anyway, so that's just kind of a recap of our first year as homeschoolers. Like I said, I ask the kids all the time. I think they're tired of me asking now, but I always say, are we still glad we made the decision to homeschool? And they always say, yes, 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 yes. So we love it. We're so excited we made the jump. It was scary losing an income, but God has provided for us and taken care of us despite losing an income. And so we are confident that we made the right decision. So if you are interested in homeschooling or thinking about it, reach out to me or to anybody you know who is homeschooling. I know that I had a couple of friends that were homeschoolers that were instrumental and extremely helpful to me during the time where I was trying to figure out, if we were going to do this and what we're going to do and how do we do it and all of that. So find a friend. It can be me or it can be somebody else. Comment below if you want to talk about anything, have any questions, and I'm happy to help you. And I know that if you have any friends who already homeschool, they're happy to help you too. So we give a big thumbs up to our first year as homeschoolers, and we're looking forward to this coming fall when I will have 2 8th graders and a 1st grader. So that is just a quick recap of our first year as homeschoolers, and I hope you'll give this video a thumbs up if you like hearing some chit chat from me about how things are going and our thoughts on things. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.